Greetings, fellow Christmas tree collectors. Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
And welcome to Talking Mrs. Bates, the show where we check into the Bates Motel.
But we don't always check out.
Do you like what I did there? I did the maniacal laugh in the form of a fa la 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 la. Ha 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 ha.
They went over some heads, but I liked it.
All right. So, you know what else might go over some people's heads, but but the crowd of folks that we're catering to might like BlueDragonFive.
What?
The Movie Machine Podcast. Yeah. Hosted by our friend Jacob Gulliver and featuring a rotating panel of guests. BlueDragonFive, they did something completely outside the bounds last episode. Do you know what they did?
No, tell me.
They took the producer out of the equation. And they had 2 writers and 2 directors and no budget. It was craziness.
That's madness.
So go to hotchocolatemedia.net. Check it out. The Movie Machine Podcast. All right. So BlueDragonFive, closest thing we've ever had to a Bates Motel Christmas episode. Leading up to episode 9, I really got to say, these 2 episodes really sync up with each other so beautifully.
Oh, yeah.
So let's just dive right into it. I'll do my Carlton Cuse voice and we'll get things started. So, previously, Bates Motel.
We see Norma's window, a very iconic location in the Psycho universe. We go inside, we see she's sleeping alone. Remember that shot, folks. She's sleeping alone in bed, but it's a cold night in the Bates Motel. We see, again, Norma alone in her bed, really cold. Norma at the same time. He's cold, but he's not sleeping, which is a little ominous.
Oh, yeah.
So they're both really cold, and they're figuring there's a problem with the heater. They're looking, there's no luck, they're all bundled up and everything. No luck, and there's a few joking lines about them possibly freezing to death. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, so we'll see how that pays off.
Just every time the heater is mentioned and the heat and everything, I just get a knot in my stomach given what we know is coming up. I'm sorry, it's impossible to talk about this episode without referencing episode 9.
Again, let's not be direct about it. Again, we won't
be direct about it, but it's impossible not to at least be kind of sly about it.
Well, all we can say is that the heater plays really big time into a huge event next episode.
Oh my god, yeah. So...
So anyway, Norman, he finds the opportunity to make a snide comment about some changes that have been going on. So again, Norman, last episode ended awesomely in the Nestor Carbonell directed episode. And by the way, just to mention, this episode was written by Freddie Highmore. Man, he did an excellent
Was it
job.
really?
Yeah, you didn't know?
Oh my god, wow, props to Highmore.
Yeah, Mike, seriously, this episode is there were so many moments in this episode that just have some of the best writing in the show. I kid you not, there were some really excellent moments in this episode. I think he just wrote the heck out of this episode. I want him to write more episodes, I really do.
Yeah, that's astounding, wow. Okay.
It'd be fantastic. We got an episode that was written by Highmore and directed by Carbonell. That'd be a marriage in heaven, you know. Again, you gotta remember, you know what's so funny about it? Vera Farmiga, she produces, so you know.
Oh, God. Norman!
Anyway, so Norman takes the opportunity to kind of make a snide comment on the changes that have been going on, because again, he's been welcomed back into the house, and he's really not thrilled about the changes. That's kind of the big premise of this episode. Norman kind of acclimating to the changes at home that he's really not accustomed to yet, and he's making
points of... that David Bowie song again?
No. It goes a little something like this.
Turn on our gigantic new television and get a weather forecast. Oh, stop it. We needed one. Why did you feel like we needed a new television all of a sudden? I don't know. Maybe I was lonely. We're not giving it back, so get used to it. Oh, become a spaghetti western fan. I just got those for fun. Calm down.
Oh my god. The best part about that is just picturing Alex at Walmart, like picking out the spaghetti western specifically. Like, oh yeah, Norma's into old movies. I can watch these. I can feel like a manly man. It's gonna be great.
Well, you know why he picked that? Because, he's the lone gunslinger in the town. He's a sheriff. Get it? He's a sheriff.
Oh, God.
Westerns. Makes all the sense. What else would Romero
No,
do?
it totally makes sense. It's great. But like I said, the best part about it is that it's something that Romero can like and Norma can like. And it's like, it makes so much sense in the world for him. He's like, oh, this will be perfect. We'll have a movie night with my new wifey wife. Oh, boy. Just living in the bubble.
Well, remember, that bubble count's going to come back big time next episode.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so, but, I can imagine the happy-go-lucky Romero we've been getting lately having
Okay.
having that sort of reaction. Anyway, so again, importantly, Romero's not sleeping in the house because, again, she's worried how Norman's going to react to him. So, again, they're kind of keeping that on the down low. Again, because Norman does know that she's married to him, but still, big change, trying to kind of ease Norman back into the house. Again, they don't want to kind of stir him up or startle him. So, speaking of which, Norman asked to kind of do something that he's done before in the past, real creepily. Not on his own accord, but just kind of it's in the show. You have to have this sort of moment. Norman's asking because it's really cold out. It's really cold in the house. It's freezing. There's nothing they can do tonight because, it's 3 a.m. They're not emergency roadside service. Mm-hmm. He asked to sleep in Norma's bed.
Oh, God.
And again, Norman not trying to. Again, we've been through this in season 3 to great effect. We've been calling this
just like you wanted to sleep in B's bed. Who's B?
And again, we've been
trying
calling
to work it in there when I can.
We've been calling back that it's so sad joke so many times, stemming from when he's in bed with
So
her.
Sad needs its own jar next season. We need to retire Who's B and work in So Sad. That's what we need to do.
I don't know. We'll see.
No, I don't think Who's B can continue. We're not getting any leverage out of Who's B.
Well, I have some stuff in store.
Anyways, speaking of Who's B, I've said it like 3 times. So, anyways, let's get back to it.
Anyway, but regardless, though, we have this kind of the big thing. It's always a little strange. Again, knowing what we know from episode 6, the bed is really has more importance than we've ever thought before. There's these two in bed together.
Well, what I love it, and I have written down in my notes, it's like her sleeping in bed with Norman really was her bubble in like season 1, season 2. You know what I mean? It's like they were playing house together. You know what I mean?
Carrie Aaron, the best thing she's ever said about the show, in my opinion, is when she just kind of compares them to a 50s married couple, and she's absolutely right. That's how they play it, and it works great. And the performance and everything, they are kind of like a out of time 50s married couple. Gets funny looks from everyone, how in tune with each other they are.
I can just picture like Norma locking locking the door on Norman, and then Norman being like, Norma!
Only in this case be Mother!
Oh God.
Anyway, but conversation goes a little something like this, the offer, and I think we'll hear something a little familiar at the end there.
We thought it'd be warmer if we slept in the same bed. Yeah, that's fine, Norman. Sure. Just for a night. Because I'm so sad.
Goes in seamlessly, doesn't it? It's one of the best.
It totally does.
Anyway, so we get the shot of the two of them in bed, but you'll notice again, kind of our 50s married couple, not quite back in their usual state here. Is that there is something wrong with the relationship here, and I do love how this moment plays again, because we know how kind of usually in tune they are when they're in bed together. In this case, it's it's like the married couple. There's an issue brewing between the two.
Yeah, there's a funk going on.
Yeah, Norma kind of points us out that things have been a little uncomfortable because all the changes. It doesn't they've been apart for a long time, so for a while now. So it feels something's feeling off. She addresses this, and a little scene goes a little something like this.
I guess we got a little used to being apart. It feels a little different being together. Are you happy I'm back? Of course I am. I'm really, really happy. I am.
I gotta tell you, what I really love about that scene is there are many great things in it, aside from just Norman and Norma through these next 2 episodes. You're going to see Norma be again. We're backtracking in a really excellent full circle way to season 1. We're seeing these two. They've been through so much for these 4 seasons, and now they're kind of being boiled back down to Norman's backtracking, which is something he probably shouldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And while they're doing that, though, they are kind of refining kind of the core of their relationship. Is that it's mother son, the most adorable, cutesy way possible, but at the same time, they can't exist without each other, and they're kind of now realizing that I'm going to do whatever it takes to help this person. And again, we're going to go through some rough patches in this episode. I think by next episode you'll see it's now kind of gone back to this full circle way.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I do love kind of there's a great sadness at the end of this, though. Again, despite Norma. Again, you see the strength of character on Norma, where she says, I am happy. Again, she's putting on a brave face. She's trying to make her kid feel welcome.
Having said that, I wrote down in my notes when she says, I'm really, really happy. I'm like, it's not as genuine as she's so sad.
Exactly, but you know what I mean? It's like, it's her kind of
putting she's forcing it. You know what I mean? She's like putting an effort into it. I'm really happy. It's like, I'm sure she's glad he's home, but she's not over the moon about it. She knows it complicates things. She knows it pops the bubble.
Yes, and again, I tell you, this is an excellent cold open, a literal cold open. I get
it is.
No, but seriously, it is an excellent cold open, because right now
I could imagine Carlton Hughes being like, "Hey guys, I got an idea. You know how they say cold opens? Well, let's have an opening with them waking up at 3 a.m. and the heat's gone. Yeah, that'll show them. That'll be a great cold open. Previously on Bates Motel."
Right. But seriously, though, I mean,
he just inserts previously on Bates Motel in the casual conversation.
Yeah, but seriously, I love that ending. It sets up, that's the main conflict of this whole episode of it. They're trying to make the old things work. They're trying to get things back to the way they remember it. But again, major changes have happened. Literally, the bed where Romero was, Norman's just kind of forcing his way into right now. And there's that great sad delivery that Highmore delivers perfectly at the end. They're saying, okay, like this is kind of sad, okay, where Norma realizes he's not feeling welcome. But at the same time, I'm not sure how to feel about this. I'm trying all I can, but it's going to be really tough to get through this big change that's going on here. And again, just kind of that the 50s happy-go-lucky couple we've seen in all these seasons are now kind of, they're on the rocks. Anyway, let's see. So after that, after the awesome bed shot, we have Norma in the bathroom calling her boo, Romero.
Romero answers just like, hey.
It was a little something like this. And before we get to our comedy punchline, I just want to point out how sweet and loving their interaction is. Just this, she opens with, I miss you. And just, oh my God, it's so sweet. And I think there's a really great, rewatching, I kind of found this great parallel.
Okay.
The way she says, I miss you. We start the episode off with her kind of like faking enthusiasm. And again, not that it's not there, but again, as you said, she's kind of milking it just to kind of make it effective, trying to make more, forcing herself to make Norman feel welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Not that she doesn't want to, but again, just trying to force the enthusiasm. There is some conflicting feelings in there. The point is, she's trying to make him feel like, in that moment, make him feel like, you were missed. And here, because again, she was in her happy-go-lucky, everything's going perfect bubble, even without Norman, which is a feeling she never thought she would have without Norman, which, again, that's going to make Norman feel very threatened in this episode. But again, just right off the bat, right after that scene, we have her actually happy and positive, saying, I missed you to Romero, before she actually gets to that point in the next scene or so with Norman.
Right.
So again, I think there's something really telling. Again, Tiki just kind of dawned on me now, I guess. It's kind of like there's a weird affair going on in this episode. I mean, the episode's called Unfaithful, and I guess that's the point.
Oh dear.
I know it is, but seriously, if you look at it like that, it's kind of the.
No, I think you just hit the nail over the head. I'm pretty sure that's what they had in mind.
I know, yeah, it's I know, very obvious. I know, but
I mean, for me, it's more kind of like Mother is being unfaithful towards Norman. But yeah, you're right. In this way, like in a weird, perverted kind of way, Norman getting into bed with Norma, he's Norma is kind of cheating on Romero in that moment as well. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it is kind of it's a love triangle within a marriage. It's like you're married to. I mean, you're married to her, but you know she's actually married to me. She's been married to me for years now.
Oh God. Oh God.
Yeah. Anyways, let's see. So then we have our comedy punchline. Again, really sweet thing between Romero and Norma. Again, they're planning on meeting up later on for some lovey-doveyness. But again, you think, oh, okay, that's a sweet. We can put a button on. We need a little bit of comedy in there, showing you how. Again, a little bit of sadness for Romero. That again, he's still on the outs. He wants her to.
I feel so bad for Romero in this moment. To me, it's not even funny. It's just like, ah, man.
You're right.
He was trying so hard, and now it's just all gone.
That's the thing. I mean, Romero, he's being supportive in this moment, understandably. So we've seen Romero as a fully well-rounded guy. You know, he's saying, look, listen, I understand you. It's a big relationship you two guys have. You know, you work at it, make sure you take your time with it. I get it. Anyway, he's not too comfortable with it. It's an uncomfortable situation. Anyone would be a little on edge about it. But, you know, he's taking his time with it. And anyway, so then just to show the sadness of, like, yeah, there's no getting in between these two, we have this moment play.
Oh God.
Just there are three excellent moments in that thing. Just like one, I love the fact that she's using the bathroom as her cover.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I love that idea, and we see kind of the hilarious cuts to Romero's reaction to hearing all this over the phone.
You think it's hilarious. To me, it's like he just looks so defeated. I just feel so bad. I just want to go up and give him a pat on the back.
No, I'm with you there. I'm saying it's a sad thing. I'm saying Norma's side of it's hilarious, but Romero's side of it is really Romero's side of it is tragic, and it's really hard to describe kind of like what he's. It's kind of hard to describe kind of the proper feelings on that, but it's just that at the end there has this wonderful thing where he just last thing I'm pointing out in this scene is that at the end he just has like this. He says goodbye twice, and it's like that longing for Norman, longing for just like I want it to be just you and me again, not Norman.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's this bizarre yet compelling love triangle through this whole episode of like she's with another man, but that other man's her son. He's ruining my mind.
She thinks it can all work, but as Romero said, he's not magical.
Yeah,
or shall we say? Shall we find out?
Maybe
there's more to unravel with that mystery, but we'll get to that.
Romero might be the missing link for all we know. We don't know.
In Lost, he literally was magical because he was immortal. So
we'll see.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. Following that, we got Norman. So while Romero's kind of in a weird place right now with Norman back, we have Norman. He's feeling a little bit like he's been replaced. Again, we have the other side of that. Again, it's so funny. Look at how brilliantly this episode's conceived, Tiki.
Yeah, both of them are like, oh my God, like I'm just straight up. I've been cut out.
I gotta tell you, this is now hitting on me. Oh my God, they have the same arc in the episode. How great is that? It's like
that's why the title Unfaithful works so well.
I mean, they're both in a position where they're both feeling very inadequate, and they're both feeling like they've been replaced or left out. When again, they're both. It's no wonder it's like Civil War is about to be brewing between the two of them. It's like,
who's Cap and who's Iron Man? I guess Romero's Cap.
Yeah.
Tony fancies himself a mad scientist. So.
Well, I think because mothers are important in that movie. I think.
Oh God!
I would speculate
not in the same way that mothers are important in another movie. But
so I would speculate that Norman would be Iron Man.
Fair enough.
Anyway, let's see. So
he killed my mom.
Okay, well, let's not get into specifics so people don't lynch you for giving anything away. Let's see.
I didn't say who killed her.
Hey, I didn't say it either.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. Okay, anyways, let's see. So Norman. Norman's feeling like he's been replaced. All the changes that have gone around, even like the little most minute thing, like the new curtains, and it goes a little something like this. All right. Before that, though, we have Norman kind of making really funny, ironic lines. Can definitely set the stage for next episode.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to go out and buy a few space here so we don't die.
Oh boy.
We'll see how that goes.
Oh no.
Remember, folks, evil space eaters.
Oh yeah. Oh god. Oh god. Okay.
Anyway, so then we have then we hear here's how the scene goes.
You got new curtains? Yeah, I made them myself. Was that what all the fabric was in the corner of my room? Yeah, I was sewing in there. You made my room into a sewing room? No, I was just sewing in there. It doesn't make it a sewing room. It's still your room. I'll move all the stuff into Dylan's room. Can't believe Dylan's moving. Feels like so much has changed while I was gone. It's just life, honey. You know, it's all good stuff. I kind of like the old curtains.
I mean, how telling a character beat is that? You know, at the end there, he says, "I miss the old curtains, and I don't want this change." Again, Heimer's really good. Heimer's really doing it right with this episode.
Yeah, he is. You're right, especially with the writing too. I mean, oh my god,
That's what I'm saying. I mean, this episode is so excellently written. There's so many great lines and so many great monologues in this episode.
Oh.
Okay, let's see. So I love we get a lot of classic. Now again, it reads so much like it sounds so much like it's someone who's been so intricately involved in the show, because it's from the very beginning. We have a lot of Highmore's able to write Farmiga as she sounded like seasons 1 and 2. You know, she's like having all these funny little bantery bits of like, it's not a sewing room. It's just it's a room where I sew in. Anyway, so following that, you know, they're having breakfast together. It's really sweet. Oh my god, I love these two having breakfast. You know, it's
Howard Hamlin stops by for a cup of tea.
Yep. Oh, Norma, you make tea like no one else. I don't know how you do it. Just top marks leaves her like $100 tip because he's doing well. He's just keep up the great work. Anyway, so then basically welcome, you know, giving Norman his brother. He's like, "Come on, let's eat." And then it goes a little something like this.
Welcome home, Norman. Welcome home to your freezing house. Thank you, Mother. Oh, and thank you for everything that you did and went through with to get me the help I need. I'd do anything for you. You know that, right?
Again, I love that setting in full circle with that line. You know, it's like they have this way back to the pilot, the whole ironic line thing. Remember the whole like, "Oh, welcome to your freezing house, Norman."
Sure.
They're going way back, and again, the next episode fully puts it back. We're going this season.
It's great because it's like throughout the middle of the season, we were kind of like the furthest that Norma and Norman have ever been to each other, and then it just wove itself back into each other.
Oh yeah. Anyway, so as Norman's asking about Romero's living arrangements, like what's going on there? Does the sheriff have to stay with us?
I love how she just like scurries to get some coffee to avoid the question for a little while. She's just oh boy.
Yeah, as ridiculous as it sounds, and I'm sure Howard Hamlin can relate, there's great drink acting in this scene. You know, tea and coffee. I mean, there's a great like kind of use of the tension of like, you know, Norman taking these long sips.
Absolutely.
I know it sounds ridiculous, but
I hear what you're saying.
I'm saying there's great tension and pause. I had to kind of cut that out of the audio. I just want you to know there's great stuff there. Oh boy, it's just really good. Again, there's some great tension in there too.
So she kind of breaks the ice gradually. She's like, well, we actually became friends. I'm sorry, do you have an audio clip for this?
I believe, yeah, I do. It goes a little something like this.
Sheriff actually have to live here? Sometimes, yes. Sometimes. We actually became good friends. And the fact that he did all of this, you know, to help, he's just very nice. And I think that you should thank him. Of course, no, it really is. And I will. I'm very appreciative of all he's done for us.
Now, I love that, again, Norman is coming at a place of genuine kind of thanks that, you know, that someone was there to help his mother out when she was in peril. But at the same time, he's immensely jealous that it wasn't him. We're going to see that play out. But I love that Norma, again, an idea from his mother, seeds the idea in his head that he's going to, in a way, exact vengeance, or at least kind of lay out the ultimatum later on.
Oh yeah.
There's the whole, again, he's in a conflicted place of like, yeah, it's kind of like the old mobster thing. You know, it's like, you know, get a favor from the Don on the day of his daughter's wedding, that sort of thing. You know, like you did me a kindness, so you know I'm gonna give you a freebie. But we're going to get a little more on that in a moment. But point is, I just love the idea seated there, but also we have this great bit in that. Now, I'm going to point this out here because, again, we usually have kind of a running thing called blackout, the blackout tally. There's an idea that started in this episode, goes on to the next one, and we'll see how it goes in the last one. But Norman, Norman is reminded by his mother to take his medicine, he takes his blackout medication. First of all, we'll get this awesome line before I continue further.
All fixed now. I've missed you.
I can relate to that line. It is a slow process with medication, but
by the way, it's a really nice nice line at the end there. Then she says she misses him. It's like there's the genuine kind of those moments between the two of them coming back.
Totally,
now she was warming up to him literally earlier on, but now it's like now they're fully warmed up together. Anyway, but what I'm saying is, like, you'll notice that he doesn't black out in this episode or next one because he's on this medication. But I have a theory I'm going to get into next episode about what's exactly happening with Norman on this medication.
There's a lot, I think there's a lot of ambiguity there, and I think there's a lot of purposeful, like, Christopher Nolan style ambiguity. We'll get into it.
And again, more of that on next episode. I just like the idea. It's getting started here, and I think his actions in this episode, especially by the end, are definitely going to lead into his actions next episode. So we'll just basically from this point forward, if anyone would be watching this, I would suggest that on the rewatch, kind of track how he acts after he takes the medication.
All right, so we take a break from Bates Motel to follow another show, The Wacky Antics of Rebecca Hamilton. Oh, I told you, BlueDragonFive. I told you. What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
We go from excellent, compelling drama between mother and son to this.
All right, so Audrey's trying. Do you think she even has a sick mother?
I don't care.
I don't think she has a sick mother.
No, I think she has a mother. I think when she says sick, I think she means she has a cold. That's what I'm guessing.
All right, so she's trying to get on the next plane, and
Hank Schrader shows up.
Oh God, I wish. I know. And the one behind the desk, she kind of goes and scurries away, and then the DAA approaches. Oh boy. So we'll see how that plays out. But folks, I actually think, I don't know, BlueDragonFive. I think the end of Rebecca's arc, it's so pathetic on her end that I actually think it makes her whole character worth it in a way. But we'll get into that in episode 9.
I mean, there's an excellent payoff, but she's a waste of time.
Oh, I won't argue that she's a waste of time, but
in retrospect, my God, she was like the only bad element of this season so far. Literally the only bad element. Okay, let's see. So following that waste of time, we have Norman visiting Romero. And by the way, it's a little thing to track again. Going really full circle with the evolution of this. Romero's secretary always causes trouble for one of the Bates family members at the front desk. And we're going to see that later on with Norma. But in the beginning, I love that Norman doesn't get any trouble though.
Right. And this kind of comes around, like, this really reminded me of the opening of season 2.
Oh yeah, very much so. When we had that great sit down between Norman and Romero about spotting someone by Blair Watson's grave, otherwise known as.
Oh God, who's B?
Told you we were going some places with it.
All right.
There's more on the way. Anyway, so. We had that was a really kind of nice, calm sit down. And again, if you look at kind of the arc between Romero and Norman throughout the series, you'll notice. I mean, Romero has a soft spot for Norman. He never disliked him at all. I mean, he saw a lot of himself because remember, Romero was really close to his mother, and it was up in the air about whether Romero. We know Romero's father wasn't the most perfect role model, but
sure.
Yeah, it was assumed maybe he also had like kind of a bad home life and a real deep connection to his mother too, which is kind of funny. But seriously though, we know Romero has a soft spot for his mom, and also he might have been for all we know, he also could have been victimized by a teacher because he was really sympathetic about Miss Watson.
He was.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, remember, we had that sort of speculation way back in season 2. Man, Romero might have been through the same thing Norman has. That might be interesting.
So, of course, Romero gives the ultimate pleasantry. He just asks if Norman wants something to drink.
Which we go nuts for, by the way. I know it's out of context.
Course.
That sounds like, oh, well, why you go nuts? Just give him a drink. He's off. No, seriously. We've had moments of like...
Pleasantries is the key to the whole series, folks.
And I'll remind you, Dylan went to a meeting with Nick Ford back in season 2. And again... Well, I know Dylan initiated the meeting, but Nick Ford, man of means, man of teaching capabilities to Dylan in the drug business, could have offered like a slice of pizza, could have offered, at the very least, some free water. Could have at least gotten some free water for him. Nothing.
But of course, the ironic thing is he's talking to Dylan about pleasantries. But all right,
So
what
he
episode
himself
is that?
is
Do
the
you remember?
episode. I want to say it's 7 of season 2.
All right, so if you want to watch that, folks, go back to our season 2, episode 7 recap and see us rant there. So
But to be fair, it might be 8, 7 or 8. I'm pretty sure it's 7 though.
all right.
Anyway, so let's see. Back to this. So again, well, who is Nick Ford the father of?
Oh God, who's Spee?
Okay, so anyway, so Norman and Romero after they kind of wave off the drink, cat pleasantries and everything. They sit down again. Romero has a great bit here. He's being thanked by Norman. Norman thanks him for his help. And again, I'm convinced through this. I'm going to play it for you in just a second here. But again, I love throughout this moment here that Norman at first, again, he's really pleasant. He's really like, oh, thank you. It's genuine thanks.
That was nice of him.
Yeah, it's to connect to the earlier scene where Mother says, you should thank him when you go to Genius. I will, Mother, and he is. But at the same time, I also love that there's this undercurrent of Norman on some, well, I really do appreciate what you did for me, genuinely. So I'm going to, look, the fact that you were sleeping with my mother, I'm going to let that slide as long as you stop it.
Oh, God. Right,
so again, that's why tell me if I'm wrong there, because I'm thinking it's like, look, I'm going to I get a sense of like, there's a bit of Norman's like, look, you help my mother in a tough spot. She makes bad decisions in the moment, but look, because you looked out for her, you're familiar, you're kind of family. I'm going to let it slide, but don't do it again.
No, I hear you.
Anyway, goes a little something like this, right here.
I just really wanted to thank you for everything that you've done for me and for my mother. And I know it was a very difficult time for her, and I know that it probably meant a great deal for her to have a friend there. But the fact that you married her, it's above and beyond. We're both really very grateful. I'm happy to do it. And I just want you to know that you can be done now.
First of all, when he says you can be done now, I love all the air gets sucked out of the room, and it's awesome.
Yeah, because Romero at first, he's just like so genuinely pleased. He's just kind of like, oh my God, like this could actually work.
Yeah, it's like we're bonding.
Right.
It's like I'm gonna get my #1 dad shirt out of the closet. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Greg Universe, can I borrow yours? Sure.
Oh, sure, Alex.
Anyway, so then I love the.
Greg. All right, Miss Piggy.
So anyway, so then the air. Oh, by the way,
I'm telling you, I'm writing that Greg Universe and Miss Piggy fanfic. I'm gonna take that places.
Let's just say I have some Bates Motel / Steven Universe stuff to pitch to you at some point. But anyway, so anyway,
keep going. I'm having a problem with my sound.
Anyway, so
I've got it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Anyway, so let's see. I was just trying to find my place here. All right, so again, I love the air is just sucked out of the room, and the minute he says that, it's the minute he says, "And you can be done now," and then remember before he inquires, basically this whole thing of him clarifying what that means is essentially it boils down to Norman telling him,
You're a nice man.
essentially.
Basically. And also, speaking of which, I might notice we kind of passed over. Norma does explicitly say that Romero's a nice man in the previous scene.
She did.
So
she did. Right. Well, no, she does that. I think she does that later on, though.
No. Hold on. Let me check.
I'm saying it might be in one of the big scenes later on. The kind of the holiday scenes, one could say.
No, I'm pretty sure it was before, but let's not make an issue out of it.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, so then the scene, basically him clarifying this to Romero about what the arrangement is, about what Norman's plan is, goes a little something like this.
Actually, though, want to burden you with it. I'm an adult. I'm going to get my own insurance.
Okay, well, insurance is really expensive, Norman. I know the motel has.
There's other places to work besides the motel, Sheriff. And other things that I can be doing besides managing. So I'll be getting a part-time job while I continue on at the motel. And as soon as I get all this straightened out, which should be in the next 2 weeks, you and my mother can get a divorce.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Again, I gotta tell you, I admire the heck out of Norman in this scene, because again, on some level, Norman has to know he's going up against the most feared guy and most feared
God
at the same
Bay.
Again, so the most feared yet at the same time revered person in town. But again, because his mother's involved, Norman not for a second will hesitate to do this. And again, going behind Norman's back to do this, which is going to be very important. So then basically, here's where we have kind of our Breaking Bad equivalent to this would be the tread lightly scene from Breaking Bad. It's essentially the Bates Motel version of that scene.
Oh yeah, right. I got it.
It goes a little something like this, folks. Again, prepare for just the most awesome showdown of words you've ever seen. Again, Highmore did a great job as kind of writing up this scene.
Things change. That's where you're wrong. Certain things can never change. Things that you know nothing about and never ever will. But I will always remember that you helped my mother at a time that she was so confused and so vulnerable.
I think you need to be careful about how far you want to push this one.
I'll let you know when I have my own insurance, and we can start the paperwork for the divorce, so as not to expose your fraud.
Oh boy.
So Norman is getting really smart about this stuff. Like he essentially pulled a similar thing with Edwards, where he's like, "Oh, are you going to make me put something in my note about how you're going to refuse to prescribe me a medication that you said would be helpful to me?" Oh, naughty, Edwards, tisk, tisk, tisk.
Now you have to imagine the minute Norman leaves the room, Merv's probably saying to himself,
What the hell? What was that?
Yeah. Oh, God. Okay.
you gotta imagine that's what he's thinking the minute Norman leaves.
Totally. Okay. And speaking of what was that, we have some Dylan action right here.
Yeah. So again, after that very tense scene, we have a less tense scene between mother and son, other son, to be specific. Norman,
a little tense. Still a little tense.
True. I mean, Norma's buying some space heaters, as promised. She bumps into Dylan along the way, because it's a small town. They bump into each other. Again, we always see, it's so funny how many shots, when you really think about it, Tiki, how many shots in Bates Motel we have of Dylan just kind of having conversations on the phone next to people loading stuff into his truck or something?
That's true. That's
or like people loading stuff into trucks around him. It's either, he usually doesn't load anything to his way, since he's already done that. He's just kind of...
So I guess it's like Dylan's equivalent to the warehouse thing with Batman.
Well, you could say that. I would say more it's just like, I think Dylan just like, he gets like really good Wi-Fi or something out in the open or something. It's like, you know what, I'm just gonna hang out around here. I usually get, it's like Fonzie with his office being in the bathroom and all. It's like, this is my place. Just, I hang around, I get calls and get business stuff. You know? Okay, anyway, so let's see. So again, they bump into each other. Dylan's offering to help her out with some of the water heaters, and he's asking what the space heaters. Sorry. He's asking what's going on there, and then Norma reveals that I let Norman come home, and again, Dylan, Max Theory is such a good actor. You can really kind of read the emotions on his face here of like,
oh my God, dude, I'm gonna shower him with praise when we get to episode 9. Episode 9 is heartbreaking for me.
Yeah, he's gonna be drenched with praise next episode.
Oh my God.
He's going to be drenched with compliments and praise.
You're ready, Max? You ready for it? I don't think you are.
It's going to be like one of the endings to those '80s videos, where the dancer like pulls a little pulls the chain, and then all the water comes out. Except the water is going to be purely complimentary things.
Okay.
Anyway, but seriously though, just his performance here, just kind of taking the news in and knowing that, and importantly, what I love here, and this pays off in what I would argue to be the best written Dylan line ever, one of the best written Dylan lines, just Dylan's speeches, I suppose. Later on, I love that the idea is kind of firmly cemented in this scene. Where Dylan takes in what his mother said again. He warned her profusely, don't let Norman home. He let her know the whole situation and everything. He realizes in the scene, she's not going to listen to me. There's nothing I can do. So this is Dylan kind of making peace with the fact he can't influence her at all. And but you can see his concerns, especially over Norma not telling Norma about Romero, because he knows that's going to set Norman off. So again, Dylan is still concerned. He's still concerned, but he knows it's looking less and less likely he's going to be able to reach her, because again, she can't follow the simplest instructions like don't let him home.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, don't, Mr. Lincoln, don't sit in the box seat, something like that.
Oh God. Or with Alex, it's just like, Norma, I ask you one thing. When you hang out with Chick, I don't mind if you hang out with Chick. Don't roll around in the dirt with him. Don't get dirty.
I promise. And she comes up just drenched in mud. And it's like this. She just walks through the door, like Romero, like kind of uncovers the mud from her face to tell who it is. It's like, Norma, Alex.
Oh God. Okay.
I think it's a coin.
For what?
Well, the line we just referenced.
The
dirt.
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
Anyway, so let's see. So again, she re-extends the tree offer because they're moving. Again, I'm kind of confused on the timeline for Dylan here, because they say they're moving tomorrow, even though they don't move tomorrow. But I guess it's like they're moving. They say
the day after tomorrow.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Because I keep missing if it's like
that really bad Jake Gyllenhaal movie.
Well, that's kind of a out there reference, but okay. So
I'm just saying.
That's fair. That's fair. Anyway, so the point is she re-extends the tree offer. Before you start to get moving tomorrow.
Maybe they're so cold because of global warming. BlueDragonFive. Do you ever consider that?
No.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
No, but seriously though, I guess it's that the idea. I think the way it plays in the next episode, I think they're packing tomorrow and then they're moving the day after.
All right.
Moving the boxes to the U-Haul, I guess, the next episode. We'll see. Anyway, regardless. Let's see. So doing an exception. We'll be there for help you get the treat tonight. It'll be fun. Yeah. Meanwhile, let's go here next. Oh no.
More of the wacky misadventures of Rebecca Hamilton. Okay. So Rebecca's being grilled by the DAA. They're asking her about aiding Bob Harris in White Pine Bay Federated. Let's see. But
real quick, the leader of the DEA is Babbitt. Remember?
Okay.
I'll tell you. Babbitt is the one who actually could have just gotten rid of Rebecca entirely, because this is the whole reason Rebecca's in the show, by the way, this character. See, this whole scene is the reason for Rebecca, because they need Babbitt was set up last season as Romero's arch nemesis, the one who's going to be going after Romero this season. Actually has a shot at taking him down. Mm-hmm. Bear in mind, we know it's not going to happen. We know it's the one who's going to try. But regardless, though, you see, Babbitt was the one set up as like she's the one who's looking with scrutiny on Romero, and that's the thing's been building ever since last season. That's again, if they just got rid of Rebecca from the start and just made her the focus, it would have been a much better use of time.
Oh yeah, totally.
Again, I can't guarantee I would have liked Babbitt because again she's going after Romero, but I think I would have liked her a little bit more than Rebecca. She would have been more intimidating.
Like the bad thing about Rebecca is just the whole angle of her being the ex-girlfriend of Romero, and just like the whole like, oh Alex, remember when we were together? Oh, I miss you, Alex.
Don't get me wrong, that's bad, but I'll tell you what kills me more. It's like she makes very, very poor, stupid decisions, and Romero,
yeah.
Again, if she knew Romero like she says she did, then she would know when he tells you something, you do it.
And I'm sorry, but the actress that plays her doesn't really give a wide range of emotions either. I don't really feel any sympathy towards her.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, so let's see. So again,
the DAA, they're basically just like, it's convenient that she's quitting the job. And then she's, I quit my job because my mom's sick. She's sick with a common cold, and I need to be there.
It's unverified. It's just our guess on it, folks, just in case you're curious.
All right. And she basically said she's tired of white. This isn't a good place for me. Mm.
Okay, the main point is just to boil them because I really don't want to talk about her anymore. Basically, she can offer her. They want her to give up Romero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, so
And
basically,
of course, we know she has absolutely no problem doing that because she has no soul at all. She's like Superman in the Zack Snyder movies.
yeah. Essentially, it's pointing at that, we're really going after Alex Romero, and you're connected to that, so we're on him.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. So following that, we have Romero and Norma's a romantic meeting at Romero's house, and it starts off like this.
Hi, how's it going?
No,
Basically.
No, I'm kidding. It doesn't start like that. She's
No, but it just started out with like, "Hi."
Oh, it actually does, and here's how it actually starts.
Hi.
Oh god.
What?
Did you know Norman came to see me this morning?
You must have done it while I was out. You didn't tell me anything. What do you think?
What do you think? Everything I've done for him.
Well, that's nice. That's a nice thing for him to do.
So, first of all, that's
That's gotta be in the top 10 Norma Bates moments right there.
I just love Norma being like, so again, because she told Norman, then you should thank him when you get a chance. He says, oh, Norman came by to visit me. Oh, I didn't know he did that. What did he say? Well, first, I love Romero's delivery. It was too, like, at first, he's like kind of ironically, well, it being the least worst thing that happened there was he thanked me for looking out for you married, yeah, all that stuff. So, oh, well, that was nice of him.
Oh!
Scenes like this make me think that Vera Farmiga's stunt double is just a stacked in a coat, just newborn puppies. Because how can you get more cute than her? It's like that has to be Vera Farmiga's stunt double because the only way you get like a tenth of cuteness of Vera Farmiga in the scene. Just her being, oh, well, that was nice of him. Come on. Oh god, it's like you need like a coat full of newborn puppies.
Oh.
Anyway, so let's see. So then basically, Romero kind of drops the ball on her, telling her what the not so pleasant part of the meeting with Norman went.
I told him to do that. I could get a divorce now. I gotta get a part-time job with the papers on the streets.
What?
He thinks I manipulated her.
Manipulated me? How?
Through all the lies.
You mean he knows we're sleeping together?
And then he has to tell him the truth, Norman, that we're together and that we love each other and that it's not gonna change.
Okay, but it's too soon.
It's not gonna get better. Waiting's only gonna make it worse. I mean, what are you trying to accomplish here?
Okay, one thing I want to point out, though, believe me, Rebecca aside, I only have one issue with this episode.
Okay.
That's that line that Norman just said. Believe me, as much as I do love this episode, and I love how it's so excellently written. I mean, I don't blame Highmore. It's a continuity issue that kind of bugs me.
And Highmore, for the record, he doesn't really have much of a choice but to write Rebecca in, given the plot and where it's going to go and everything. So
exactly, and I'm saying that's not the I'm talking about. I'm talking about in this thing that just happened.
If it was up to Highmore, he just wouldn't have had Rebecca in there at all. I think he's classy enough to know that.
Yeah, but again, Rebecca's not the issue here. Again, we're stuck with Rebecca. What I'm getting at is that there's a continuity issue in here. I'm thinking he was just wrote it at a sequence. They didn't have all the plot points figured. Like, it might have been like an ad-lib line, or it might have been kind of written at the last minute, because what he says here is in complete contradiction to something that happened last episode, where Norma. Let me play the moment for you, see if you can spot it. Basically, it sounds like Norman would already know, and Norma would know that Norman knows that they're sleeping together based on this line from last episode.
He was in our house. Have you been sleeping with him?
What are you talking about? I can't believe you were asking me this.
I can't believe you're doing it.
I mean, again, it's pretty on the nose that Norman knows they're sleeping together. I don't know why she's so surprised.
Right. I hear you. I think that's a minor little flub, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a little flubs. I mean, believe me, but because how great this episode is, I can give it instantly, raise it aside. Like, no one cares. It's perfectly fine. Anyway, let's see. So following that, then the kind of conversation continues here. Now it's a little more pointy because Romero's making some excellent points. And look, just tell him now, rip off the Band-Aid, because he practically knows. It's just let's just cut through it. Just tell him the truth that we're in love with each other.
Norma not telling Norman is kind of like her own little bubble with Norman. You know what I mean? She's just creating a bubble within a bubble.
Again, she's trying to have both affairs and make it work.
Right.
She has two awesome bubbles that she lives in. It's like Norma enters, like she has like doors on the side. She enters like it's happy, good, bubbly times with Romero, and on the same time, it's like happy, good, bubbly times with Norman.
Right.
But you know, that she really doesn't want any crossover, and she knows like if she allows one in or pops one bubble, then it's going to be gone forever.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so then it kind of goes like this because she really, and you're right though, the classic Norma Bates thing. She gets really defensive here over doing whatever she can, even though she has really little power in the situation, to hold on to what she can. And again, it's a really illogical thing that Romero points out in this thing coming up here. I really like that. Again, Romero's making excellent points. Like, no, it's not what you're saying it is. It's much simpler. It goes a little something like this.
I will know when the time is right. And I don't like being pushed into making a decision by either of you.
Making a decision.
In exchange of information, you know what I mean.
If it's the choice, you gotta figure out your choice.
I'm not giving you up.
Well, then you gotta tell them.
Now, I think we're absolutely on Romero's side in this situation.
Oh God,
right?
yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
So again, Romero's been exceedingly patient, and you know he just wants her to tell him ASAP. He doesn't want to keep secrets. He wants you to be open, be honest.
And he's patient with Norman. Like, even now, he's, you know, even when Norman's pushed him this far, he's still willing to make it work as long as Norma tells him. That's his only clause. And like you pointed out, Norman practically knows anyway. He pretty much confronted her about it at Pineview. So, yeah.
Yeah, again, Romero feels like she's choosing not to include him over Norman. He feels just so picked. He feels so left out. He feels so obsolete. He feels like, no, like now you're going back with Norman. What's going on? It's like you're choosing your son. You love me. We both know this. We love each other. You're choosing your son over your romantic partner. Believe me, I get it. You can have your son and you can have us both. You realize that, right?
Right.
Yeah, again, anyway, so following that, you know, again, I like Norma, though. She still wants to keep her. She desperately wants to keep her, because, again, with every fiber of her being, she does love Romero, and that's really apparent. But importantly, speaking of parent, her parental side comes out big in this episode. It's going to come out even bigger next episode. Like how, when it boils down to Romero, whenever Romero gives parenting advice about Norman, she gets really, really defensive and on edge.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to come in play big time next episode, so... right now, it's kind of giving some guidance, saying, "Well, you should do this," and her saying, "Like, look, I'll make that decision. It's no decision; it's a choice." Anyway,
Oh yeah.
so meanwhile, Dylan and Emma return to the Bates house. It's been a while. They haven't really been in the house together since the Caleb dinner party.
Right. Yeah, that's probably the last time. Yeah.
Yep. And let's see. You know, Emma's worried that things are going to be weird because it's going to be the first time. Again, I love how many episodes it's been since these two have actually met. Norman and Emma haven't shared a scene together this season yet.
No, not at all. Yeah.
You know, Emma's afraid it's going to be weird, or allow her to say it in her own moments and have Dylan have a hilarious comment based on it.
I'm kind of nervous to see Norman. I hope it's not weird.
That's my family.
Aw.
Very
I'm
very
rooting for those two kids. I'm hoping both of them avoid being in body bags. Anyway, so she goes up the stairs. She meets Norman. It's really cold in the house, but you know they're chumming it up. They're having sharing some pleasantries. You know they're chit chatting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all is well. And basically, you know, Norman has this great bit where he kind of, can we just address the elephant in the room? Yeah, we used to date, and now you're dating my brother. But you know what? I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner, because you two are such a perfect match. Yeah, it makes sense from the get-go when you think about it. They both felt pretty much ostracized and unwanted, so no wonder they would end up together.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Norman is 100% genuine in this, and I love how he holds absolutely, like, I think it would have been cheap drama to have Norman be like, "Oh, how dare you take away my Emma." No, we know the love of Norman's life is mother, you know, so I love how the writers, you know, Norman is just 100% on board with it. It makes sense in the context of his character. I really like that.
Yeah, but it will be really interesting if we ever see Mother's reaction to Emma dating Dylan. Because he's saying that was the big tension we have, like what Mother feels.
Would
about
evil yoga poses be involved?
I don't know. Again, I'm just not sure how she would feel about this. Because again, would she be? Because again, if she's enamored with Norman, then she'd be perfectly fine with it. But I don't know if she was like, when you stole Norman's girlfriend, I can't have that.
I don't know. I don't know. I think I think it's much like Norman. It's like, since Emma is not the love of Norman's life, the love of Norman's life clearly is Mother.
So that sounds pretty on the money that both of them would be fine with it, So I'm gonna go with that, but still, it might be some tension down the line. Just not of that topic particularly, but we know, like, remember, Mother likes Dylan. She was making Dylan breakfast way back in this episode 5 last.
That's very true.
So Mother likes Dylan. So I don't think there's going to be tension on that level. Still, Mother might. That's the fun thing about Mother, though. We don't know who she likes and who she doesn't like. Because remember, she was hearing Audrey out where Norma did not. It's something to always consider with Mother. You don't know who she's going to like and who she's not going to like. She might actually kill Chick Hogan for all we know.
Oh God. Oh God.
Anyway, let's see. So
and Mother's meter is just like, are you nice? Or are you not nice?
So, they have a...
Santa Claus. Mother is fucking Santa Claus.
God. Well, it's Christmas, so yeah, let's go with that. And the point is, we get this really sweet moment of them kind of coming to that realization. Really nice.
We will always be good friends. No matter what. I know we will. Ugh, leave it to that lung transplant and mental patients, shit.
I tell you, I think Highmore's, he writes the emotional scenes so well. He really does. But also, you gotta imagine what I think Mother's take on that little comment and how it goes a little something like this. Can't take it so seriously. Anyway, so then Dylan walks in, and then again we have a very Perkins-esque.
Oh my God, it's such a Perkins delivery right here. It's so like old school 1950s speak.
We have very old school Perkins, but also at the same time, Norman. Again, it's a very hopeful, happy-go-lucky Norman. Again, don't get used to that, folks. It's going to go away real fast.
Hey, my gosh, we're all together not to get the tree. Mother, we should get going. Come on.
So the Christmas.
Listen to that all day.
So one,
the tree.
And Dylan saying it's a Christmas miracle. It's like the Christmas. See, folks, the Christmas special now begins.
It really does. This is like the mini, 15-minute Bates Motel Christmas special.
And you know what's so funny? It sounds like something we would pitch. That's what's so funny.
It really does. You're right. It totally does. It's got the music choices and everything.
Yeah, it has it's not just the music choices. It has the music choices, but also it has. Here's the thing that's so distinctly what we would have pitched.
Okay.
And by the way, if anyone's interested, again, we have a Christmas in July where a seasonal shenanigans, I think. Yeah, I think it's seasonal shenanigans. We pitched the Bates Motel Christmas.
I want to say so, yeah.
Anyway, so folks, check out seasonal shenanigans Bates Motel Christmas to see what our pitches were.
That's kind of the trap we put ourselves in when we had one movie in Christmas in July. Because if we only pitched TV shows in Christmas in July, and only pitched movies in seasonal shenanigans, then we wouldn't have that problem. But I digress.
My point is, the thing they have in this so distinctly us is just like all kind of the issues brewing under the surface while they're all doing something Christmassy. That's so us.
Totally.
Like Dylan's got some stuff going on while Norman and Norma have something going on, and it was just kind of the innocent and all of it. That's so. I'm just watching. Oh my God, something we would pitch.
And so speaking of Dylan kind of wanders into Norman's room like a young Bruce Wayne, kind of looking for some evidence in his theory.
Well, he's not looking for evidence, but it's a great little thing that kind of gives him some issues brewing the next episode. This again, if Norma, he was clinched on Norma earlier on. Where he's going, I can't do anything to save Norma here. And this scene is like, it's like if I stick around here, I mean, I might. Basically, I can't stick around here because I got a reminder of so much darkness and so much potential of darkness with my brother. Of he sees the Emma again. It's so lucky when you think about it. It's so lucky Emma didn't recognize that bunny.
yeah.
Again, he recognized the bunnies. The bunnies there is just him looking at that like, oh no. It's like again, my brother may have killed my girlfriend's mother. I can't live with that thought.
That's a horrifying thought. Yeah.
And again, the fact that I ran this by her, and again, I kept it cryptic. She doesn't care, but she might be fine with it, but I'm not. Like,
Okay, so
I
here
can't
we
be
go.
okay with my brother killing my girlfriend's mother. Anyway,
Right,
yeah,
so
right.
here we go with the Christmas special. We got Jingle Bell Rocks playing, of course.
It goes a little something like this.
Would you turn the music down a little, please? Something wrong, Mother? No. You haven't said much since you got home. Here we are.
And again, the Christmas special begins, folks. It's the Bates family and Emma and Togue heading to a tree lot to pick out a tree.
And then Norma's moody and she has to turn the Christmas music down. It's perfect.
So let me remind you, I'll tell you what's so hilarious here. Again, in addition to that, you just pointed out, which is absolutely right, Tiki. You're absolutely right. Again, thank God, Freddie Highmore. He must. I want to think he's been waiting for the Christmas episode, and he finally got answered.
That'd be
We
great.
don't. We have no proof of this at all. I would make it so much better if, like, Freddie Highmore was like, I've always wanted to write a Christmas episode. I've always wanted to do a Christmas episode of Bates Motel, and this is our opportunity. Anyway, so here's what's so funny, and the scene's about to play out with Norma here. I just love that. An episode ago, remember Norma in her super happy headspace.
Oh yeah.
We had all of that going on. At the same time, we had happy-go-lucky Norma come up with this idea of, hey, let's go to the tree lot. Sounds a lot like this.
Hey, I had a fun idea. Why don't you and Emma join me to get the tree this year? You guys are moving so soon. I thought we had to take this to do together.
Sure.
That would be so great.
So again, that's before. That's all happy-go-lucky Norma, and here's Norma now.
Let's go find the tree.
She's moody. Sorry, I forgot how she can be sometimes. Just ignore her, and we'll have fun, okay?
Sure, no, we'll go find her. It's great. Right, Don?
Yeah, great.
Come on, there's so many trees to choose from. I can smell them for the first time. It's wonderful.
Literally, right there. That would be our alternative holiday special if we had to pitch it again right there.
Right.
Seriously, that little clip there epitomizes everything we would have done. Just seriously, four beloved Bates Motel characters on mulling over different issues, but Emma's the innocent. All of it. That's all we would have pitched.
Oh,
I swear to God, folks, it's pure accident. But seriously, it's so great that again, just she's in a bad mood.
Hey, Karen. I just found this guy. These guys are talking about a Bates Motel Christmas special. Maybe we should do something. Just Carlton Hughes discovering us. I could dream, can't I?
Hey, we can all dream. But yeah,
previously on Bates Motel.
I'm just imagining Carlton Hughes with that quirk of they just finishes every declarative statement with "and previously on Bates Motel." And just Carrie and saying, "Well, Carlton, why are you saying and previously on Bates Motel?"
Okay.
Anyway, no, but seriously, it's a great read on again with all these 50s couples comparison we've been making. Speaking of Carrie Aaron, I just want to mention that again, and they complete each other so well that one's in a bad mood, the other one's accounting for it, saying, "Oh no, I'm sorry, guys,
This is
in."
one of the best examples of that. And usually they're apart from each other when it happens, but here they're forced into the same situation.
Yep, one's miserable, one's having the time of their life.
Oh yeah.
But again, I just love that they're accounting for that though, of like as like a perfect kind of married couple. Of like, oh, I'm adjusting for my partner's weakness in this moment. Like, oh my God, it's like he's being laid out there. He's like fun dad while mom's all pissy.
Right, exactly.
Anyways, let's see this.
Malcolm in the Middle, anyone?
Well, much better than Malcolm in the Middle.
Well, I'm gonna count that as Breaking Bad reference.
Well, you gotta. Now you've added the coin. Make a joke about them being the same person. Go on.
All right. Well, Hal and Walter White are the same person.
That's really the best you got.
Yeah, that's the best I got right now. You put me on the spot.
Anyway, moving on. We'll let you drown on that one. So, moving on. Let's see. So basically, we have Norma's like again just kind of storming around. So she doesn't even care about like having the best of times, picking out trees and everything. She's just kind of like, let's just pick a tree and get out of here.
Right.
It goes a little something like this, and we have an awesome moment unfold. It's such a well-written scene. This whole all this tree lot stuff is brilliant.
Mother, jeez. It's unhealthy. A bunch of trees to sneak up on people.
You jump out from a bunch of trees. You're just on edge. What's going on?
I don't know, Norman. I don't know what's going on. You know why? Because no one tells me anything. Things that you do, things that affect my life. I mean, but why talk to me about anything? I mean, what am I? Like a doll? And the men folk are going to hash out who gets the woman in the homestead?
Oh, I see. So he told you.
Yeah, he told me because he respects me enough to tell me. What the hell does that mean? That's bullshit, Norman. Anyone can do that. I just diminished what he said.
Oh my god.
Maybe this just isn't the place to have this discussion, Mother.
I tried to talk to you about it in the house, but you never were already there. I am so upset with you. And I don't want to get into it, so stop provoking me and stop it.
I just diminished what you said.
Do you hear that, Tiki? That's
What
the
is it?
Emmy. That's the Emmy calling for just perfection. Just that's the Emmy of perfection. Just, oh my god, beautiful nigga. She should polish a whole shelf full of Emmys. That woman. Oh my god, so wonderful. Anyway, so sorry, I just diminished what you said. The minute I heard it, oh my god, we're gonna use that so much.
Oh, I just diminished what you said.
Again, that's just it's Nora having just such a great read on people that people do that all the time, and she's absolutely right.
Right.
It's just so sick and tired of it. You know, I'm hating when people do that. Anyway, so speaking of Emmys, folks, again, you've heard the Emmy signal has been lit up for this now. But now, unfortunately, kind of the casualty in all this Emmy love we've been given this season. Dylan Max Derry acts the heck out of this scene. He's going to give his actual Emmy-winning performance next episode. But oh my god, this one.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I will say this is the best Dylan line in the entire series. Best Dylan speech in the entire series. Right here, just, oh my god, I'm in love with how Highmore crafted this little moment with Dylan here. It goes a little something like this.
Feels different from my family that it used to. It's like I'm on the outside looking in at them. I used to want so much from them. Stuff I was never really getting. I just never realized it. I feel terrible saying this. I think the Norma are they're so messed up and they're never gonna change. Dragging me. I don't want to live it.
Kind of cutting out. Hello? Hello? Oh boy.
His face looked awesome. I just wanted to point that out before we forget.
Yo, you're kind of cutting in and out. Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, you were cutting in and out.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Let's keep going.
Alright, what was the last thing I said?
Just it kind of cut out midway through the audio clip.
No. Should I play?
Just keep
Let me
going.
play it again.
No, don't play it again. Just keep going.
Regardless, it's just a fantastic Dylan line. It's all about.
Just to reiterate, Dylan says, he just keeps getting dragged into the black hole, and I don't want to live in it anymore. I think that's where it cut out.
Anyway, what's so great about that line, though, is that Dylan is just, again, he's made peace with the fact, he can't, as much as he loves his family, there's nothing he can do for him. He doesn't want to get dragged into that darkness. And I think it's just such a profound thing on Dylan's character here, because this is brought on about Emma, like talking about their future together, and it's Dylan realizing, if I want to move on, if I want to have a future, I can't be bogged down by getting in the middle of their drama anymore. Which again is very much like Norma in regards to the Ducote family earlier on this season. Again, there's a lot of Norma and Dylan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, what also was so great about that, again, Dylan as a character we know is doomed from the start because he doesn't exist in the Psycho lore. The idea of this character really is a great full statement on Dylan having a chance at life here by getting away from the darkness.
I don't necessarily think that's true that he was doomed from the start, but season 2 we were kind of having our thoughts about him dying.
Well, I'm saying a character who from the start is intended to not Well, I say I don't mean like he's doomed to death. I'm saying he's doomed.
Yeah, but I mean, you can pretty much say the same thing out of any one of these characters besides Norman, though.
Yeah, but I mean, out of all of them, though, we knew that Dylan was the biggest risk because he was in addition to the cycle of Norman. The Norman Bates, our titular character, had a brother. He's never had a brother.
Sure,
so
sure.
I'm saying he was like the most famous example of someone we knew from the start. Is like he's on the chopping block. He was the first one, second to Norma, who was on the chopping block.
Right.
But again, a character who either is going to die or be written out in some way. So again, this is kind of a great kind of culmination of that. Them pointing out that even Dylan, to live as a character, he has to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
My point is, I was really in love with it. I also mentioned something about the color. Did you hear any of that?
Not really.
Just on the car ride over is a great lighting scheme. And red on Norman's face, blue car. Anyway, moving on.
Nice.
Let's see. Sounded a lot better earlier on when you couldn't hear me, but let's go forward.
I'm sorry.
So now the Norma confrontation goes on. Goes a little something like this. Hopefully, we'll be able to be heard.
Stop it. You might as well tell me what's wrong. I know you're angry. It's not like I can pretend you're not and go have a glass of cider and candy.
Got it.
Of course. You had to do it to get insurance from me. That sort of thing is horrible, and you shouldn't have to live life like that. No one should. But if I have learned one thing in life, it is that sometimes you have to let other people help in order to alleviate your burdens. That's not what happened. He's a good man. I like him.
Oh, God.
You like him? Yes.
So before we continue, let's talk about that scene for a moment. So again, big thing, and Norman just trying to say, look, I know.
You have a glass of cider and a candy cane and fa la 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 la.
Just one of the best lines in this episode.
Absolutely.
But again, we have the most profound Dylan line followed by the most awesome Christmas line by Norman Bates. How awesome! Again, Freddie Onwards, give him top marks, give him a writing Emmy, give him something.
I would vote for him for a writing Emmy. Submit this episode.
Yeah, this was an excellent, really written episode. Anyway, so again, Norman has seen Norma in a position where she's had to have sex with people for Norman's protection. He's hated that, so now that's what he was convinced Romero was doing.
Right.
Yeah, but in a different context, but the same premise of like she was sleeping with him to protect Norman, which he hated that idea. And again, he's just like her saying, no, it's not like that. He's a good man. Again, that's where the line came in.
He's a nice man, maybe.
As mentioned. Anyway, so then just kind of dropping the big, again, within this kind of this great complex drama of these two couples, these two married couples, we have again, this is the big moment of like, it's not just I need him, I like him too, and this is basically telling Norman the worst thing you could ever tell Norman Bates ever, but I like him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, and now bear in mind, folks, we've seen Norman have before I play the reaction of what Norman Bates' reaction is to the fact that you like him. Before we continue that reaction, let's recap real quick. Let's see what Norman's track record with Norman. Norma was instantly jealous of any girl in Norman's life. We saw the evil yoga pose thing, and we saw literally asking Emma her life expectancy.
Oh God.
So there was that, and that was on Norma's side. And Norman's side is you could literally feel the hate brimming off of Norman for how he hated the men Norma talked to.
Mm-hmm.
Shelby,
George was the best example before this season.
Shelby, he hated justifiably.
Oh, yeah.
George he hated purely out of jealousy and spite. Literally, Norma slept with George despite Norman. How twisted is that? But seriously, you could feel the hate burning off of George. And in season 3, he tried to kill. He almost strangled to death. Again.
Mm-hmm.
He slept with his mother.
Yeah, you're cutting out. I can't hear you. Oh my God. I don't know if
Hello.
Yeah, I can't hear you at all. I don't know if it's on my end or what.
Okay, well, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, but I think I might have to restart my computer. Can you take us through some of this?
I don't know. I think that might have been me, Tig. I don't know what to tell you.
Really? Well, I don't know. I don't know.
I can't tell. But,
Oh, you just went into like cyber robot land. I felt like I had to like call Scooby-Doo and the gang and go on a cyber chase to save you.
You know I love that movie. Anyway, so what was the last thing you heard me say before it turned to a
Dude,
robot?
I don't even know. Let's just...
I'm saying, point is, he hated George profoundly. He hates George so much.
Right. Yeah.
He almost killed James Finnegan, and here's his reaction to Romero. Without
screw Finnegan. Finnegan is definitely kind of in the Shelby camp.
I'm just saying, they keep evolving the hatred. He hated Finnegan so much he almost strangled him to death out of a reflex action.
Right.
And next was this, and this, oh my God, Norman's reaction to hearing that his mother genuinely likes him, not just like, again, all those other men are one-night stands that she, maybe...
Okay, to put it in Hey Arnold terms, to put it simply, she doesn't just like him, she likes him.
Yes, which is...
That's again, the most simple way you can possibly boil it down.
Again, seriously, the way Highmore plays this, the way this is conveyed, is like you see Norman, the minute he hears that, it's almost as if he said, I don't love you anymore. It's like, oh my God, it's like the worst thing you could ever say to Norman. Or saying you're adopted. Like, those are the two worst things you could ever say.
All right. Just play the clip.
I love how motherly she is in that scene, by the way. I just love it's so real.
Just from like catty, pissed off Norma to like just the most motherly, calm, just like, oh honey.
Oh my God, it's so sweet. It'll give people diabetes here in that line.
And then, yeah, absolutely Norman just vomiting all over the place. It's such a great reaction.
Again, he hates Romero so much because, again, he knows that he knows that without a question that his mother actually is head over heels for Romero, knows that he's outclassed in that regard.
He
feels so unloved and he's so angry. He hates Romero so much he makes him sick to his stomach. How great is that?
It's wonderful.
And again, she's writing it off, and again, it might be a reason, but I think we all know the real reason. She's so jealous of Romero.
I will say that some meds will cause nausea. I will confirm that, but still.
I'm calling it, though. That was purely out of Romero hatred. That's what I'm saying. I don't care what anyone else says.
I don't know. Maybe he just got a little too much eggnog. I don't know.
Wait, what? Wasn't it cider? It says, remember, I'm trying to think of the follow line.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm just making an alcohol joke. Okay. Anyways.
Next scene.
So Emma, they're back at the house, and Emma's asking Norma to come and visit when they get unpacked and everything. And folks, given the state of next episode, there might be some finality behind this scene with Emma and Norma. Let's just say that much.
There may.
So. Okay, so they ask if they should go up and say hi to Norman. They want to leave because they don't want to leave Will with all the packing, and which leads me to believe, BlueDragonFive, that Will is already kind of like in the process of packing.
Okay, well again, it's going to take about a day, I guess, because
right. So that's kind of what I read it as.
I guess they're getting all the boxes again, maybe a U-Haul truck or something. The following day that we haven't seen yet, that's going to be when they're leaving. So Okay, anyway. I do love kind of the day-night structure we have in these last couple episodes of the season. I do kind of like that timetable we're working with.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so again, they leave, but Emma got chocolate from the hot cocoa on her jacket. So Norma's offering to wash that. In the meantime, lends her jacket so she can wear home. Because again, Emma just got lung transplant. You should breathe with someone else's lungs.
Okay, so Emma's got Norma's jacket. I think that's going to become significant.
Oh, it's going to be huge.
Let's just put a pin in that. Okay.
And it does track, by the way, for those at home. It does. If you remember anything distinctive about that jacket, it does track.
Oh yeah.
So let's see. So following their little exit there, we got. I'm sorry, I was trying to think.
Norma suggests going down to the motel to sleep.
Yeah, see, I don't know why we didn't think of this earlier. That's a really good point. Why didn't you think of that earlier? But then again, they might have just figured it was
I think they might just forget sometimes that they just literally live in a property with a bunch of vacant rooms.
That's the sad truth. Is that remember they're doing such bad business in the winter that the place is just empty space.
Right.
Because
But
remember
still, they can make the best out of it. Could you just imagine Norma and Norman just like going throughout the rooms and like making fortresses out of pillows and stuff like that, and just having a gay old time?
Are you trying to give me diabetes? Is that that is the sweetest, most adorable thing I've ever heard.
Oh God. Okay. Anyway,
I don't want to lose my legs. All right, just.
Oh God.
Anyway, so so basically, Norman point is Norman's back in the house because he refuses to kind of he's just still shaken by the Romero news, the like news. Mm-hmm. So he's you like him.
Oh God! Now I'm just reminded of that whole episode of Hey Arnold where Lila throws up on Arnold. Oh God.
Yeah, well, that was a different episode though.
Yeah, I know, but I never liked Lila.
There's the ending to the one where she says the whole like him thing. That is BS. What Lila does to him. I'm just calling it
is. It
really Lila,
is.
You self-entitled.
All right. This isn't a Hey Arnold podcast. Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Lila, you piece of. Okay, anyway, moving on. Anyway, let's see. So what's going to
trust me, we'll get a Hey Arnold podcast when the Jungle movie comes out. We're waiting for that, but.
Just give me a long stick with some nails on it. I'll make it count. Anyway, so let's see. So Romero stops by the motel. Importantly, Norman knows that Romero's car is by in the middle of the night, and they have a little meeting. And this is where they have Romero sees that Norma she did what she did.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I think we're skipping over a Dylan and Emma scene.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Let's just again. Norma plans on sleeping in the motel in the heated rooms. Then Dylan and Emma. So what's going on?
All right. So Dylan comes in. I like this line. He's like, "Oh, Will's already snoring. I heard him through the kitchen."
Oh, that's so cute.
I don't know that Will Ducote. He just seems like such a pleasant guy. He really does.
He's like Welsh Greg Universe.
Come on, Miss Piggy, let's go see the new Star Wars movie. Oh, Greg, I don't like those Star Wars movies. All right.
That incredibly old Star Wars movie. That's Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back, the really old one. All right.
You do that too well.
Well, thank you.
Move on. Keep going.
Okay, so basically, this is kind of like these cute kids are getting together in this scene.
Yeah, let's get together. Yeah.
Oh God. Okay.
So let's Sherman Brothers. Sorry, back to this.
So basically, she's just saying, "You've been so nice, sleeping on the couch every night." And Dylan, oh my God, Dylan is such a gentleman. He's just like, "Well, I didn't want to freak Will out all at once."
Yeah, like a young Bruce Wayne.
Absolutely. So.
And this is really sweet. And then she says, well, then basically she initiates, but carefully. The emphasis on carefully.
Mm-hmm.
And as they're getting down to business, we see Norma's about to get down to business.
Oh boy! Oh, so that is a good transition. You're right.
So again, Romero's driving by. Norman spots this from way up top, and I love the tension in this scene. We get a huge moment in the Psycho lore, folks. A huge.
This
moment.
Is something we've been waiting for a long time. Yeah.
Oh yeah, since season 3 for me.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, let's see. So Romero stops by, and Norma tells him that she told Norman what happened. It was really hard, and Romero comforts her, and it was really hard. Again, the acting on these two is superb. Norma, she's been through. She really didn't want to tell him. She broke her son's heart, and she wanted to avoid that. Again, she broke the other person in this romantic triangle's heart.
Right, I'm dying to hear what you have for audio clips here.
Well,
hopefully they actually work.
Well, okay, get ready for it. So again, folks, just to remind you, here is the running gag. Well, we find out Mira has the most charming, awesome bit ever. Let me just play that for you, just to kind of bask in it for a moment. Now, if I can for a moment musically epitomize the fan reaction to this awesome moment of Romero declaring himself to be a magical unicorn, let me play that for you. Really triumphant, just really beyond awesome. Tell me you were able to hear that. Tell me you could hear that.
Oh dear. Just Romero the magical unicorn. Oh god.
To the X-wing being raised from the swamp from the Force Awakens trailer, by the way, from that awesome 22 seconds I'm in love with from the Force Awakens trailer.
Oh, this is my favorite part, Miss Piggy. Yeah, there's a bunch of wires, Greg.
My God. Oh, Greg Universe, he would be like, oh my God, it's I'm trying to think of the character's name. Darn it, God, the janitor. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. From
what?
From Great Muppet Caper. Remember
Beauregard?
Beauregard, thank you. I don't know why I was blanking on his name. Bro, it's like Beauregard taking Miss Piggy and on the Walt Disney World.
Oh God.
On Star Tours. Remember they went to Star Tours.
Right.
It's like that, saying, "Oh, Miss Piggy is the." Aren't you paying attention? Aren't you saying
Greg, it's not you. I just had bad experiences with Star Wars.
Anyway, like just imagine that being.
Luke Skywalker came into our studio and he was kind of crazy.
Just imagining that as
he would shut up about Alderaan.
Just imagining that as Norma Bates right now, folks. Just so I don't want to know. Everyone at home knows what I'm picturing. Anyway,
all right, well, let's get off of this whole fucking Greg Universe dating Miss Piggy thing, folks. Trust me, that's a running joke now. But
anyway, so let's see. So point is, it's getting really hot and heavy. So again, forget about Greg Universe and Miss Piggy. Let's talk about something actually hot and heavy. Right. So Romero has this seriously. Again, we just kind of made jokes about it, but seriously, how awesome is that moment there? We finally had this really sweet. I'm hoping Freddie Homer came up.
It's adorable, and I love Norma's reaction to it. She reacts like a little kid would, and it's like, it is like Alex is trying to be charming, but at the end of the day, he kind of comes off like a little kid himself with the unicorn line.
Oh my God, it's so awesome though. Just him saying I'm a unicorn, because it's a wonderful callback. I want to hope that Freddie Highmore was thinking, you know, what's a hilarious thing we had this season I can kind of call back to? Oh my God, the magic line. It's the most romantic, sweet thing I can put in this scene. Just him calling back, remember I told you it wasn't magic, which we've been making a running gag of this whole season, which helped us out greatly.
Totally.
I'm a unicorn, and then him just like in classic Romero style, being the Fonzie of the godlike Fonzie of the show, he can't admit that he just said that. He says, "Oh, what are you talking about?" He said, "You're a unicorn." He says, "What? What are you talking about?" Enormous girlish laugh. Oh my God, they're like little school children in love. It's adorable.
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay, anyway, it's like they're fifth graders in love. It's adorable. Anyway, so then they're getting hot and heavy following that awesome moment, because again, it's Romero. How can you not? So they're getting hot and heavy. Meanwhile, Norman all the while has been. They're in room number 1, which we know from the classic Psycho layout. Room number 1 is right next to the motel office, where Norman kind of hears them from the side. Norma's laughing. It's really making them. Again, if we learned anything from Better Call Saul, when you make someone's mother laugh, that means war.
Oh God, right.
We do. Anyway, so he hears Norma having a good time, and he just kind of he kind of pulls a nail out of the wall, which leaves a little opening, and he kind of takes a little knife or something, and he digs that hole a little deeper, makes a peephole. And oh my God, he looks through that peephole and he sees the two of them, very classic Hitchcockian style. It's like her in the bra and kind of almost like a slip-like material, almost. As they're getting down and dirty. But here's the important thing, folks. The moment this happens, I'm convinced, I'm still saying this, Norman watches this unfold, which you can see, oh my God, Highmore is one of his most brilliant acting ones, again, without saying and uttering a word.
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote this one, by the way, folks. You can see the hatred and the tears in his eyes, without crying, but see, it's like the wetness in his eyes, like he's so angry, he wants to kill Romero so badly.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm declaring it now. The minute I saw this, I'll just give you some perspective. The moment when this happened, I was like, oh my God, he just sealed this. That's Romero's fate is sealed. Norman has to kill him now because he watched him defile his mother.
I think right now the question isn't if, it's kind of when. Is it going to be the finale? Is it going to be season 5?
But seriously, am I right though? Don't you get that vibe of like, you know, he watched him in the next room?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
In Norman's mind, he defiled his mother, which to Norman's mind must have been he raped his mother, almost. To Norman's mind.
Essentially, it's the same thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like you defiled the most my sanctum sanctorum, man. It's not cool. Anyway, so Doctor Strange references aside, I'm just going to move on here. So again, point is that's a huge moment in the cycle. You know, him watching in, that kind of also cements the fact that, oh my God, this is the big relationship that Norman's going to, you know, attend to from the classic origin. That Norma is involved with a boyfriend, in this case, husband, and Norman's going to do something about it.
Oh yeah.
So let's see. So again, I'm loving the scenes. We're going to move on. So let's see what's going on next. So the next morning, after Romero's fate has been sealed, Steve.
There's foreshadowing here.
Steve fixes the heater.
Steve.
Yeah. So all the while, by the way, you know, just again, remember, any man in Norman's life, Norman's trying to exercise some dominance. Again, he can't really compete against Romero, so he's competing over everyone else. Though this after he fixes it, Norman say, "Oh, look, Steve fixed the heater here. Oh, that's great." And he goes, "Well, something like this."
Norman, Steve just fixed the heating furnace. Oh, great. Thank you so much. Show yourself out.
I just love the immediate Steve. You can show yourself out. It's like he has no patience for this peon. Like, yeah, I just watched my mother get defiled last night. Just get out now.
Now we know that Norman is the hospitality business, so he can be pleasant. But no, he's having no pleasantries today.
But again, Steve.
Also the guy Steve, he's asking Norma to sign a contract to sign her life away for fixing the heater.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but seriously though, I love Steve's pleasantries though. He's so charming though. He's saying, "Oh, we'll sign your life, boy." Okay.
Boy.
I think in the minute Norman tells him you can see yourself, he says, "Okay." He's so happy.
And importantly, do you have the exposition about the crack in the furnace?
Well, I was going to mention it. So, importantly,
okay.
Folks, here's the exposition. So he fixed the heater, but he also warned it's a good thing you folks didn't try heating up the furnace, you know, like relighting the furnace or anything, because there's a huge crack in it that would have filled the house full of gas.
Oh yeah.
Which is not good, folks. For those who may not be aware, gas leaks in the house are really, really not good.
And then Norma, she's just like, "Oh, me and my new husband are remodeling the house, so we'll do it. We're still trying to live in the bubble, even though things are going horribly wrong."
Now, importantly, Norman overheard that part. So then he came down and then he told Steve to get lost, and then he and Norman had a little scene together, just kind of expositing how Norman's not happy about the change, and especially he feels like they're conspiring against him, especially after watching, you know, Romero defile his mother. So it was a little something like this. Again, I love that when we do this, Tiki, in this show. I love it when we arm Norman with information that no one else knows. Like he watched that intimate moment go on, so we know he's fueled with murder in his heart.
Sure.
So I hear you and your husband are going to be cleaning up my basement. Wouldn't you want that? Wouldn't you want a more functioning workshop? What particular? You're just trying to find any reason to be mad at me. Sometimes growing is so hard, it's hard for me too. But if you just open yourself up to it, things can be good, honey. Would you please make an effort? Please? Will you? Cry.
So following that, she mentions that Romero is going to be stopping by for dinner.
Oh yeah.
You can imagine the chaos that's going to
possibly go wrong in that scenario, BlueDragonFive. I mean, that just sounds like the best idea. It's just like it'll just go swimmingly.
Essentially, Highmore's performance in this scene, and in this scene and the next one, it's like full on season 5 Walter White. It is. It's like he's so confident and sure about what he's doing because again, he saw the unforgivable act, so he knows there's no force on earth that's going to make me like Alex Romero.
Oh yeah.
Not even if he turns into a unicorn and cures cancer, I'm not gonna like that man.
Oh God!
I'm just thinking of the end credits to Deadpool. By the way, when we keep referencing unicorn, just want to make that clear.
And also, like, I think we're calling this all wrong. The end of this show is just going to be an epic battle between Norman and Romero in unicorn form.
Oh God!
And it's going to have like a Marvel Cinematic Universe style budget to it.
Okay, let's not go too far with this. Yeah, now you're sounding ridiculous.
And then Norman kind of turns into like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type monster. I don't know. Anyways.
Bizarre unicorn references aside. Let's see. So then, so Romero drops. Oh wait, sorry, I'm not jumping ahead, am I? We go to
no.
Dinner's next, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Romero drops by saying,
"Surprise!"
No, just kidding.
I wish.
No. He knows to kind of tread a little carefully here because he knows it's going to be a really tense dinner. But Romero's trying to make the best of it. He's not just going to walk in and saying,
"Surprise!"
It's not doing that. So one more time for just to make it an even 3.
Surprise!
Nice.
It's perfect. So dinner goes on.
So Norma, she's like, oh, she's stressing out about the food. Oh, I think I made too much food. I don't know. It's 2 grown men, so better safe than sorry.
So it's like she's having dinner with her 2 suitors right now. It's like
exactly, 2 grown men. 2 grown men.
One of them her son.
Okay, so Romero instantly kind of goes up to shake Norman's hand as Norman walks in, saying it's good to see you. Keep in mind, this is after the whole very tension-filled meeting with him in his office.
And you can, I'm not crazy. You can feel the hatred in the scene too, right?
Oh yeah, oh god, yeah. And then Norman, he's just like, he says the most obvious lie in the history of the show. I'm glad you're joining us for dinner. Just like, no, you can just tell he's not. You can just tell it's like, okay, so.
I want you to catch on fire and die slowly. Essentially, that's what he's saying.
Right. Oh, God. Okay, so dinner's happening. Alex is complimenting Norma's curtains, so they're kind of having a cutesy banter with each other.
And then Norman enters, and again, I love it when this is a fun running gag, especially in the next one. Whenever Norma and Romero kiss or they have something romantic going on, then Norman enters the room, witnessing just the end of it.
Oh God!
So knowing, and again, bear in mind, he just saw it unfold in its full glory in the previous moment.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes a little something like this dinner here. It's a big scene, so we're kind of broken up into a few chunks here. There's kind of like the tension. Folks, if you have an aversion to tension, you may want to leave now because it's going to get tense all the way to the end here.
Would you pass the green beans, Sheriff? Or would you call me Alex? All right, thank you, Alex.
I'd love it if you told me all about the hotel Norman knew how it works. So I could help out.
It's really very simple. People check in and then they check out. No matter what else is there. I've looked up a couple of part-time jobs that will allow me to pay for my own insurance.
That's not necessary.
It is to me. Don't let me to be all licensed and paid insurance.
No, actually, I think that's great. I think it's great that you want to be independent for it. I think that shows character.
Oh, really? Alex, that's nice.
Okay, Norman, don't be rude. This isn't easy for any of us. We're all trying here.
So she used the thing that would have said Jimmy McGill off. We. You never want to use we with Norman or Jimmy McGill.
Oh yeah.
So again, that kind of sets Norman off. Romero tries to calm things down by saying, "Look, I know this is difficult. I know this is awkward, but look, let's just try to kind of make things. Let's just try to make things copacetic. We're all trying here. What do you say?" And Norman doesn't take well to that. It goes a little something like this. As Norman again progressively through this scene, it's kind of Norman. He turns full Chernobyl by the end here. It just kind of blows up. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm thinking a lot of this might have to do with the blackout medication, that his blackouts are kind of fueling his attitude.
I don't know. We'll get into that in next episode, but
remember, he does truly hate Romero, but he's never been this direct with the hatred before.
I actually think the reason why he's more direct, just to kind of get into it, is I actually think the medication is helping him and he has a clearer head, but having a clearer head is allowing him to kind of be more blunt about certain things and kind of be more, be more the Norman that tries to take control of things. You know?
Well,
what I mean?
T, I think that's what I'm saying, but you're phrasing it a lot better. So essentially, that's what I'm saying too. I'm saying it's
Maybe
kind of
because I'm on meds myself that I'm phrasing it better. Who knows?
But you know what I mean. Then you know exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, it's basically what kind of fuels deep down what kind of fueling the blackouts deep down is kind of coming out in a way of clearing his head of like this is what's
sure,
still
absolutely.
basically it's like what's still in his head, but now it's coming out a little more fluidly, more directly. Anyway,
and like I said, I think episode 9 there's a ton of ambiguity in terms of like where exactly Norman's at with the blackout phase, but we'll definitely talk about that. We'll break that down.
Yeah, sure. Anyways, more on that later. So here's a kind of more devolves further into kind of more Norman getting more and more direct with his hatred and his jealousy and his anger of the happy couple here.
It's going to take time. Okay, Alex, there's something that you don't seem to understand. Nothing is going to change. You can be married to her, you can be sleeping with her, but you're never going to get in between us. I'm only trying to.
Norman, there's room in the human heart for more than one person. It doesn't diminish the love that's already there.
Oh, really? Imagine that we are on a ship at sea. The ship is going down, and there is one tiny boat and room and provisions for 2. Who are you going to put in that boat with you?
Well, maybe you and I get a Norman when they grow up.
It's inappropriate because it's ludicrous. We are not in a sinking ship. We're in a big, beautiful, warm house. We're all fine.
Before we go further with kind of the big clincher of that little dinner convo, I just want to point out again. I know I've made this reference before. I just want to compound on how important it is. It's a great subtle thing, Tiki. The time we're put in, I don't think it's time where I think it's. I don't know if I'm gonna put in there was just Vera Farmiga just kind of acting the heck out of it smartly. Sure, but again, the fact that she laughs at his joke.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like that laugh is like the full confirmation of in Norman's mind, everything is absolutely true of what I'm feeling about this guy. He is stealing the woman I care most for in this world. She is laughing at him. He made her laugh early in the episode. Things were going great. And again, later on, he heard her laugh, and now in person, she is laughing in front of Norman's face.
Totally,
so you can imagine how fuming with anger and hatred Norman is in this scene. Oh my God, such a beautifully acted scene. Again, this full thing, by the way, just in case we kind of glaze over, for your consideration segment.
And also, I'm sorry, I just love that little joke that Alex cracks. It is totally inappropriate, but it just shows you he's making an effort. You know, he's like, oh, maybe you and I get it, Norman. You know, it's like, we're buddies, right?
Yeah, I think on some level, too, it's kind of him still establishing dominance, you know, subtly establishing, look, I'm taking this all in stride, kid, come on.
Yeah, I hear you.
On some level, I think, is he wants to be peacemaker, but he's saying, look, kid, don't challenge me.
Oh.
Anyways, and then it blows up like this, folks.
Oh, boy.
You're such a hypocrite, Mother. My whole life, you have kept me so close to you that I couldn't breathe without you. You never wanted me to have a girlfriend or even a good time. I gave up everything for you, Mother, and I did it gladly because I understand the bond between us, the cord. Understand that it is huge and sacred and unique, and now you want to tell me that doesn't matter. Now all of a sudden, there's room for someone else. Well, there isn't, and you know it. This is our world. Our world, Mother, and that's what love is. Real love, not this veiled corpse you're trying to put in its place and you never will be able to. You are setting yourself up, and he is making you think that it's possible.
So there were two important lines in that, two hugely important little Easter egg nods.
Uh-huh.
One, the cord is not the umbilical cord, but those looking into it from a psychological standpoint would not be incorrect. It is the cord between their hearts mentioned in the very first episode, which is hugely important.
Yes, definitely.
Which, again, that is the full formation of their relationship. They are interconnected. Again, you cut that cord, they are dead.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, mention kind of this pale corpse you're passing off. Big Psycho reference, passing off a pale corpse.
Oh yeah.
Just wanted to mention that. But again, basically, I didn't get it because again, it's heating up so much we kind of get it at this point. So Norma then just kind of shouts and she defends Romero, saying, "I love him. You're gonna have to deal with that." Oh my God, again, because you can't serve an audience. Highmore, he sheds no one sheds a tear like Freddie Hunnell. He can kick Tobey Maguire in the face with how well he can shed a tear. Seriously, man. Oh my God, it's like the way you can see the passion, the anger in his eyes. Like, my mother has just like crushed everything. Anyways, I can't deal with it. And he storms out. Ramiro goes to talk to him, and then, oh boy, here's the scene, folks. Again, this is a big for reconsideration scene. Oh boy, here we go. Just the confrontation, the moment that made us all kind of our hearts jump for a moment, thinking someone might meet a really bitter end. As he's chopping wood.
Chopping wood.
What? Put it down. Put it down! What? You need to grow up a little right now. You need to think of your mother. Don't patronize me. I have spent every waking moment of my life thinking of my mother. Well, then you need to think of her as a human being. She's always going to be your mother. She's never going to hate you. But don't you think she wants to be with someone, with a partner? A friend, a lover, someone she can share her life with? I mean, why is this such a terrible thing? Do you think she deserves to have a man in her life?
Oh boy.
Said the wrong thing.
Norman's walking up slowly with the axe.
Back up. Back up.
He's a goner. Took it out in the shed, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I think if Norman wanted to, though, I think he could have killed Romero in that moment.
I gotta wonder where he got it from, though. It sounds a lot like I think he got it from this.
Nice.
I don't know. I could be crazy thinking that, but you know, it sounds a little similar. Regardless of seriously, the power we got in that sequence, you're right though. He could have killed Romero in that scene, but again,
I think if he wanted to, I think the upper hand he had was that Romero was not gonna. He wasn't going to draw first blood in that situation. He knew that if he did anything to Norman, if he laid a finger on Norman, then Norma wouldn't forgive him. Whereas Norman was out for blood. So I think that's the upper hand Norman had. If they were to come to blows.
I'm still, Tiki, I got to be honest with you. I still, as far as I'm concerned, I still think Romero, if Norman actually believed me, because we've seen in the past how awesome Romero is. I'm convinced that if Norman did try to swing that axe, Romero would have disarmed him.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
I mean, because he knows, like he sees you tell him.
Like I said, I think the advantage Norman has is that he knows that Romero can't really physically harm him. I think maybe you're right. He could disarm him.
Yeah,
but, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Man, I don't think he'd kill him.
Right.
I'm saying Romero wouldn't kill Norman, but he could definitely disarm him.
Sure. Okay.
Regardless of just the anger and the hatred, and just like I hate you so much.
All right, so just to round up the episode, he rushes upstairs. Norma's like, Norman!
And you gotta wonder, in the distance somewhere, Dylan's like awakening in the middle of the night in the post-coitalness of him and Emma, and he has like a sweat going, and he's uttering one word. Well, it's a few words.
What was that?
You know, it's funny, I actually have that written down in my notes.
Seriously? I have Dylan.
Yeah. I have Norman rushes upstairs, and then Dylan says, "What was that?"
Oh, God. Oh, but seriously, there's such a great moment. Again, it was really hyped up because we knew at that moment Romero's fate was sealed with Norman seeing through the people. And I was thinking when that happens, like, oh my God, is he going to kill Romero? I was on the edge of my seat.
I know, I was too.
Oh, God, I was like amazed when he didn't do it. Boys, Romero tells Norman, says, "Well, I'm staying here, but I'm getting my stuff tomorrow, but I'm not leaving this house tonight."
Oh yeah.
So there's a big fear again. We're coming full circle with the season. Danger to himself and others. He's at that point now.
Totally. All right, and that wraps it up. So we don't have any blackouts this episode, do we?
No, again, this medication, no blackouts.
Right, right.
He comes close to a blackout, I guess, but he doesn't really black out.
Okay, so in terms of checkout odds, let's go through it. So Norma was at 75. Now she's at 80, kind of ignoring the telltale signs here. Not going to be a good sign for her moving forward. Dylan at 60% last time. Now he's moved back down to 45%. He's very close to being ridden off the show at this point, I think. And he's also just kind of backing away. He realizes that if he pursues the whole Audrey to Cody thing, then that'll just mean trouble for him. So that's a smart move. Emma just continues to slide down. She was at 25%. Now she's at 20%. There's no real reason after the lung transplant to believe that she's going anywhere, honestly, unless they want just to do a shock death. Romero was at 80. I think he's going up to a steady 90 right now, BlueDragonFive. What do you think? Should he be even higher?
Well, you know what? Because again, the only reason I don't put him like believe me, initially we were contemplating putting him like a full 90, 98%. But the fact that the fact that Norman relented, and the fact that now Romero will see him coming, it's looking better in Romero's favor. But at the same time, he's still on the chopping block most definitely. Because again, I'm saying his fate is sealed by the fact Norman saw him defiling his mother. So again, Romero is in the danger zone. He is the little label that says danger zone. That's Romero right now. He is. He's he's the red needle breaks off when it comes past Romero's name. He's a goner. I'm saying Romero's definitely going to get killed.
All right.
When? Finally, I don't know, but he will die.
Finally, Edwards, we have 48% last week. He kind of bumped down slightly to 43%. Not really seeing much of him. I think the only reason he dies is if Norman somehow gets to a therapy session in episode 10, and then given the circumstances of episode 9, kind of blacks out. But we'll see. I don't think Edwards is quite out of the danger zone yet, but it looks pretty good for him. Anyways, so I guess that's about it. Final thoughts?
Oh my god, I love this episode so much. So good. Highmore, again, he broke one of the best episodes he did.
Oh yeah.
We got a Christmas episode, which I know you're delighted by.
Yeah, and like we said, it's funny because kind of the middle of the episode was almost kind of like a mini Bates Motel Christmas special in the middle of an episode. It's like an episode within an episode in a way, but.
Yeah, and I was just, again, I'm blown away, but again, we're on the edge of our seat. We're getting some iconic stuff with the peephole. It was great. Again, I think the acting was on all cylinders this episode. And Norman's plays as the confident villain this episode. It's so great. There's so much great tension. Again, really on the rewatch, what makes it even better is, again, there's this great love story that you can see so many great seeds up throughout it. Again, you have Norma in love with these two men. Again, it's a different kind of love with Norm. It's more complex love. But again, at their core, they complete each other. They need to be in each other's lives versus someone who makes her truly happy and on top of the world with Romero. And she's in a position where she's choosing between these two. She's trying to make it all work, but the sad fact is it cannot work. And unfortunately, that's on her. That's her fault for how close she's held Norman all these years. Mm-hmm. But again, fantastic episode. I loved it so much. Again, just take Rebecca out of erase Rebecca out of the equation. The episode's it's perfect without Rebecca.
Well, I think we're going to get a payoff with Rebecca, and I think I'm actually kind of satisfied with it. But regardless, really good episode. I honestly think episode 8 and episode 9 is kind of just intertwined with each other in my mind. It's honestly a bit hard to separate the two.
Honestly, 7, 8, and 9 are all fantastic episodes, getting better than the last, I think.
Right. But no, this one is fantastic. I'm glad you told me that Highmore wrote it, because I can get you just kind of have to wonder what went through his head and what the inspiration was through each individual scene. Really good stuff with Alex, I still love the whole unicorn line and the payoff with that. No, just really good all around, and a satisfying Christmas special. Yeah, can't complain. Yeah. All right. So why don't you give us one last Norman, and we'll get out of here. All right. Oh, look at us. We're all together and off to get the tree.